The idea behind humanity, a physical structure, is a representation or a reminder that we all are connected. We all are impactful and significant, and that's really the story behind the film as well. I interviewed 25 individuals from the age of 8 to the age of 90, and I asked each one of them 5 basic questions. The first question was, define the word one. And the second question was, do you consider yourself significant within humanity? Another question I asked was, what is your legacy to humanity going to be?
You talked about your ideas and how the piece would blend together to create the image that you were looking for.
The inspiration found its way into her, and she began creating Humanity, our bronze statue. It took about 9 months altogether from our first conversation to when it physically was complete.
I've started ideas. I've got the piece moving right now, and I have a lot of imagery that's taking place over the months as to how I can blend the imagery together so it all flows. Rivers flowing through, I think, is another idea that, you know, the continuance of life and just humanity per se. We talked about the oneness, and I'm still dealing with that as to how to incorporate the idea. We spoke of a heart, how to bring the image out so it's not, you know, as an artist, you don't want it to be the corny look of, you know, a heart per se. So I'm still dealing with that, and I'm sure everything will mold and change as I go along. I Googled humanity just to see what everyone else thinks humanity is, and I was actually quite amazed some of the symbols of humanity. Stacked rocks, of course the typical imagery which we talked about, the male, female, babies, the hands clasped together, all these images which really started sparking ideas with me. So I've got the foam piece that I will build this structure. It's the structure, the base that I will build off of. And as I was saying, I've had them cut it in half to be able to work flat.
I would go over periodically when she was working on it and take some digital stills and visit with her about it and kind of hear her vision as she went along.
What I wanted to relate was the human form in many, from a child to an older person, the hands of an older person, to the young face of a girl. We have a key here with heart. A heart as it represents. The hands reaching for one, reaching for each other, I guess we would say. The many faces coming up, swirling up here, just joining as one again. A small baby's hand and a small baby face. The male figure, our tree of life, the path of life. An older hand, a younger hand, the faces of mankind, inspired with the dream that Sue had for this bronze called Humanity. Came to the idea that it had to be a circle. We had to think of the circle of life. That was part of the symbolism. Part of the symbolism is the pathway of life, the path that I have wrapping around the cylinder shape, which was very symbolic for the piece. Other symbolism was the tree of life, which grows and people spread out from. Another bit was the nest here, the eggs for proliferation for the beginning. I think I'm partial, I love through here, but for some reason I am partial towards the face with the hand. To me it's saying so much in the heart and this key that says heart, in the older hands and the baby, and then the face is above and the reaching. I mean, this to me is, you know, trying to get the same thought throughout is what's, you know, so
it's difficult, but it also adds to the interest. Now my son looked at it, and it was the faces. He just loved the faces that tied in. He said, I couldn't recognize them at first. It took me a while, and then I could see the lips and the face and the nose and how they all come together and how they just move up through the piece.
On the top of the statue, I had inscribed, when it was still in clay form, she had me come over and I used one of her tools and I inscribed the quote, "One touch forever connects us to humanity." Now the statue's gonna sit 30 inches high, but we're gonna put it on a base, so the overall height of it will be about 6 foot.
There is a key which says love, our compass, and our key that has dreams on it.
I saw it for the first time in May of 2014. It got delivered to my house and I'd seen pictures of it, but you just can't really experience the fullness of it until you're there with it in person.
So everybody tends to go to a different area. There's like the tree with its roots that are coming across the hand. And of course, with time, as it ages, it will change, and as people touch it, it'll change, it'll lighten up and turn different, tones, lighter tones.
We have the statue entitled Humanity. The idea of the physical representation, again, of humanity is, my vision was for all ages, all backgrounds, people from all walks of life to come and put their hand physically on the statue and touch it and become part of, understand and have the shift that they are significant within humanity. They are part of it forever and ever.
And I think our whole dream is happiness and love, which again is through compassion, which brings us together as humans. And that's what humanity is all about, compassion for our fellow human. And to realize that we are one and that we are on this earth and it is one.
My hope for humanity, this bronze statue created by Maidy Morhous, is that it is something that you can see and touch and be with, and that you will have a epiphany that you are here with purpose. And you individually, all of us, are here to lift up another person and to leave goodness in our path. Put your hand on the statue, connect with humanity, and forever and ever be part of life.